What's up guys, D628 here. Welcome to a new episode of the Chevy Sonic. I think this is where it turns on, or I hope it turns on and runs fine. We don't have an exhaust on it, so it's gonna be loud and it's gonna sound like shit. But as long as it doesn't smoke, it might smoke in the beginning if everything's okay, but it should stop and idle smooth. Hopefully. I think we did it. It's so loud. There's no smoke. Okay, it was idling rough there, but I don't know if that's because it wasn't connected and all that, but so I'm gonna put the exhaust back on. We're gonna turn it back on and see if it runs smooth. I just want to see if it ran okay, and it did. It started kind of having some issues at the end. I'm gonna check for codes. Every time I say I think we're good on the camera, something bad happens, but I genuinely think we are good. I'm gonna let her run now. 1, for the coolant, 2, to get any check engine lights. Yeah, we're good, like, for now. She's running smooth. I think we have a head gasket issue, guys. Now the smell is sweet. That means that's coolant. Fuck. So, yeah, that's complete sweet smell. That's 100. Before it was like you couldn't really tell what the hell was coming out of there. That's 100% coolant. That's not good. I have this head gasket tester kit. It's the head gasket. I thought we had it. Yeah, right when it started warming up and it needed, starting to run coolant through, I think it got in. I didn't see bubbles coming through, so we're still gonna check with this kit. So how this works is there's this blue fluid. You put this in your reservoir, and then you put a little bit of fluid in there, and if it turns orange, that means there's exhaust fumes going into your coolant. Have you guys ever wondered, from COVID, any of these like plastic or like aluminum, whatever they are, lid covers are very poorly made these days? They're like really hard to come off. Even like when I buy protein powders or creatine, like the big ones that have these seal, one, there's no tab anymore for you to pull it, so it's like all the same around, so it's a pain in the ass to grab. And then 2, like only the top layer comes out. Ever since COVID, I've noticed. Starting to idle a little bit more rough. I turn on the heat all the way to get the cooling going. As you can see, there's smoke. Again. That doesn't smell like fuel though. I'm so confused. There's no change in color. Check engine light's not on. I wonder if it's something with like the catalytic converter or something. It smells sweet. It's got to be coolant. But no change in color, so it's not the head gasket or a cylinder. Shouldn't let it keep running. It just sucks down like in a neighborhood. It's like just going everywhere. I'm gonna now turn it off and check oil levels. Engine coolant temp is at 70, so it started going up slightly. started warming up. Doesn't smell like fuel at all. Smells like pure oil. And the levels are normal. That's another thing, I only have water in the car. I don't have any coolant. I just remembered that. I don't have any coolant in my car. Unless it's something with like the catalytic converter having excess fuel in it from before and it just kind of damaged the catalytic converter. I don't know if that can be a thing. We got an intake manifold, which we had from the get-go of the car. So I wonder if it's some kind of sensor that's like running, just making it run in a bad way. Because I replaced that little piece. Trying to see the coolant temp. Coolant temp's at 78. I'm waiting for that to open. I put a fan here for it to kind of dissipate the smoke a little bit and for it to not to go towards their house. It's 78. Okay, we're warming up. I'm just wanting it to fully get warm just because the car hasn't been ran in so long. It had so many cold starts. But I wonder if it's the manifold that's causing it to run uneven. With the heater turned off, it's climbing higher. It should start like at 104 Celsius, somewhere around there is normally when that's when the thermostat opens on here. It's at 89 right now. Oh, okay. We have overflow here, like a lot of overflow. It's not changing color, which is good. I'm gonna switch the fluid in here and try that again. All right, we're back up to 95 again. Yeah, we're back up to 95, and there's definitely movement in the reservoir, and this isn't changing color. So I'm gonna take this off and let it cycle through, but it doesn't seem like there's any issues there. I'm gonna close it. That way there's pressure in the system and for it to clean out the system. Throttle response is good. Oh, a lot of smoke there from that. Now it's rough idling. $95 still. Same code, still intake manifold. Nothing new. All right, I'm gonna shut her off to clear this smoke a little bit. Jesus Christ, I really did some damage with that one. Holy shit. Hey, Joey's gonna kill us. Okay. I'm at a loss right now. I cannot tell what's going on. Did some research, and now if you listen, there's a vacuum leak somewhere. That's why it's running bad. And with that, I'm just gonna turn it off because we found the culprit. So the discovery is there's a big vacuum leak. It said it's the PCV valve. That's what I was coming up on, but I replaced that valve. That was the little tube that broke that I replaced. So it's not that, I don't think. I changed the valve cover on the car, but since I'm getting the intake manifold, it might be something with like the intake manifold. Is that this hose here? I'm gonna have to probably move it or something, but this hose here, I feel like it gets in the way. See where that is right there? The valve, like the thing that moves. And I feel like it's hitting it and obstructing it. And that's what's causing it not to operate how it should because of that hose. It might be that, and that's the hose I got from the wrecker that I cut a little bit short, and that's probably why it's a little bit short. I'm gonna try to maneuver it a little bit if I can. But with that being said, there's definitely a vacuum leak. I'm 99% sure that it's this diaphragm, the PCV diaphragm. So I switched the hose. I thought they were talking about the hose, but there's a diaphragm in here And from all the symptoms that diaphragm fails, I'm receiving. So with that being said, it's a really cheap part. I'm debating and seeing if I would just replace that or if I just replace the whole valve cover, because valve covers come with it and it's not that much more. But that's gonna be the next thing I do. I'm gonna end it here because I just wanna fully clean this up, because I have tools, I have bits, I have ratchets, I have things kind of everywhere from doing the fuel tank. And since that's done and the interior is done, I just want to clean this whole section, put everything away, that way I'm not missing anything. And I'm going to order that piece, either the actual diaphragm or the valve cover itself, and then that should fix that issue, because there's definitely a huge vacuum leak that's pointing towards that. And then the intake itself, that part I'm not sure of. I'm just gonna, once the engine cools down and like later and stuff, I'm just going to loosen this. I tried this earlier when I noticed it at first, but I'm just gonna try to lift it. That way this tilts more up, and then that way it's out of the way, because I feel like that's what's causing the issue. It's causing it to hit the hose and for it to not be able to move freely. So pretty much cleaned just the motor stuff over there. On my downtime, I painted those black because they were like rust color. Same kind of thing with the Aveo that I did. Just a little high heat black paint. Valve cover's off. There's the old one. I did order a valve cover, not just the diaphragm, because I was reading that the diaphragm is kind of a pain in the ass to replace. So we got a new one with gasket, diaphragm, and all that, but it kind of sucks because I spent money on a gasket already, so there's another like $16 down the drain, but it's fine. So we're gonna put the new one in, and hopefully that fixes one of the issues. Maybe there's two like vacuum leaks, but hopefully this fixes the major one, and then we're gonna fix that hose. All right, valve cover's in. Just gotta put the ignition coil packs in there. I rerouted this hose. This right here was hitting the hose, I feel like, and I don't know if that was causing the camshaft or the intake manifold issue. So I'm gonna reset the code, start the car back up, and hope that it's better. I'm gonna check for vacuum leaks right when I turn it on. All right, let's hope that it's a little bit better, I guess. It won't start, but it might not have fuel, because it was pretty low in the tank already, but it was like really low, so it might not have fuel. There's nothing else I could have done that would have messed it up. We got ignition. I didn't take out the spark plugs. Yeah, it's got to be fuel. I gotta go get fuel or something. Take two. I have no idea now what's going on. What? I charged the battery, that's why it has good crank. I replaced this valve cover and moved that tube. What could have made it in the time of that not start? No leaking anywhere. Fuel pump's priming, I hear the fuel pump. There's like moments of it wanting it to start, but let me just double check everything, I guess. I don't know what the hell's going on, but All right, let's try to figure this out. All right, I took the fuel line off again to see if the pump is still working, because I can't hear it now. So unless like a fuse went out, hopefully I'm not hearing the fuel pump. There was fuel coming out of it, so I'm gonna see if it's priming. It's just weird that yesterday it was running for what, 25 minutes, perfectly fine, starting up every single time, normally fine, and now it wants to not start. So I'm gonna go get a bottle and see how much fuel comes out. I just did it right now, gave it contact, and I heard the actual pump this time, and it got fuel out. So I'm gonna plug it back in and see. I plugged it back in. I'm gonna prime it again, see if I hear it, and then hopefully it starts. I took the valve cover off to see if there's anything remotely wrong with it, and I didn't see anything, so I'm gonna put it back on. So I'm taking the spark plugs out to inspect them, since yesterday they were probably flooded with oil because of the issue that I have. And the first one that I went through, see how black and like wet that is? So I believe that's just pure oil. So I'm gonna dry them off, because it's probably not being able to get spark, if anything, because I pretty much turned it off yesterday right when I pressed the throttle in and gave it that throttle blip, and then all that smoke came out. And if that diaphragm was the issue, then I would imagine that because it's getting the spark plugs all wet, that I just pretty much soaked the spark plugs in oil, and then it just turned off, and then that was it. And then now with it trying to turn on, it won't. That's my thought process. I have no idea if that's how it all works. But I'm trying to just dry them off and wipe them down as carefully and as much as I can. Turns on and immediately turns off. It's not cranking anymore, so that did help with the spark plugs, but there seems to be a vacuum leak so severe where it's causing that, and I'm gonna guess it's this fucking valve cover. God, if I have to return this one, man. I've ordered so many fucking parts and returned so many parts, so I don't know, I'll have to do that. With everything I did with the car, it would 100% have to be the valve cover, so I'm just gonna order a different one, return this one like I've returned everything else that I've gotten. Return this. I can return the gasket from the old one as well, or like the new gasket that I have from the old valve cover. So I'm gonna return that, so that's nice. Save a couple bucks there. But yeah, I'm just gonna order another one. It's gonna come tomorrow, and then we'll do it again. So it's raining hardcore. Oh my God, it's so cold. I'm just moving this in, but as you can see, the roof is just dripping. I don't really have anything out here that is, everything's under, so we're good here, but holy moly, just from that my head's like soaked. But yeah, everything seems safe. I just want to make sure that all my doors are fully closed. Ooh, it's cold. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Hey, I guess I'll wash the car a bit. I should put some soap on it just to get all the dirt off of it. Like, no joke, I probably should clean the car right now. Alright. Alright, here's another new valve cover, and hopefully that was the issue. That rain yesterday really cleaned up the car nice. I'm surprised it's still dirty. That's crazy. Anyways. Alright, it's all plugged in. All good. Okay, I want to go grab my fan because there was a little bit of smoke. Let's try it again. Oh my God, bro. I'm gonna lose it. What's going on now? I'm just thinking this fucking car is dead, man. Holy shit. Everything I do to it, something new arrives. Now it turns on, stays on, doesn't stay on for a long time. Jesus fucking Christ, man. I'm trying to see if there's any leaks anywhere. This is what I was talking about. See how it's like off kiltered a little bit? So you have like that silver gap right there. But then right here, it's like actually even overlapping a little bit on that side. Bro, what the hell is happening? I'm gonna get in and just like accelerate as it's on. Just stay accelerated. Just to burn off anything. If anything, there's a fuel-y smell now. That could be just from priming the fuel so much. With acceleration, it's running fine. Now it smells fuel-y. A little rough there, as you saw or heard. When I fully accelerate, I wonder if it's the injectors now. I'm sure let it heat cycle again just like yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever it was. Oh my God, man. Okay, I would imagine it's a fuel issue now. I'm just gonna let it clear out. See, like now it's not, now there's nothing. Good throttle response, like even when I hard accelerate, but you can just see fuel. So it's just running rich. I'm just hoping it like clears out from all the swaps and changes and stuff, that it would get better. Smoke out the whole neighborhood. I don't know what else to do. I am gonna turn on the car though while it's raining. All right, so I let it run for quite some time and it cleared out the smoke a little bit, and it is fuel. So right now it's just running rich, which I'm gonna check the spark plugs to see if there's any inconsistencies, but I did some research and there's the long and short, like fuel throw or fuel, I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but this short FT1, and then there's the long FT1. So my long FT1 is staying at like negative 17.2. My short is running fine. So what that means is that car is actually just throwing too much fuel into it. So it can be possible injectors, which if it's the injectors, I just replace them, and I wouldn't be surprised because they're fucking cheap Chinese bullshit. So I'm gonna check the spark plugs to see if there's any inconsistencies. If they're all like the same, then it won't be the injectors, it's just running too much fuel. And then it could be, it's not the O2 sensor, because the O2 sensors are running voltages correctly. I checked that as well. I don't think it's the O2 sensors. So yeah, I'm going to check the spark plugs and see. Again, taking this off for the 1000th time. I know the first one from like when I got the car, I believe, was the worst one, but we're gonna start with the fourth. It's very black and sooty. Spark plug number 3 is about the same. Spark plug number 2 is exactly the same. This is the one I'm slightly worried about to see if it's like worse looking, but exactly the same. All right, that's good, I think. The next thing I can really only check is the fuel pressure, which I can't because I don't have a fuel pressure reader. But I'm curious to see if it's possibly just like the car trying to adjust itself in a way because it's ran in a bad rich fuel ratio for quite some time, I would imagine, with the car being sold and returned or sent to auction and stuff. So I don't know. I wonder if it just runs, like actually drives for some time, that it would fix itself. But yeah, I'm not sure how that works. I know sometimes it can just, you know, the ECU gets used to something but I guess we'll see how that goes. I am gonna turn on the car though while it's raining. Let's see how it starts. Okay, starts okay. I'm gonna let it run while it's raining just so it stays cool. As you see, the short is running good. Oh, -13. Ooh, that's good. That means it dropped a bit, so maybe the computer is just kind of readjusting itself to run at a more normal pace. Maybe it needs some cycles, but it started just up and it's not smoking. Why'd I put the sensor down? I'm an idiot. It's at -18.7 now, so it's still running rich. Yeah, I think the next step will be, after this clears up, or I'm gonna fix the one tire, I'm gonna seal it, pump them back up, and drive the car around a little bit and see if it needs. The brakes looked okay from the pads and stuff, but I don't even know if the car runs. It's never been driven, so there could be another slew of problems once I get the car running. I want to check the coolant temps. Oh my god, it's so bad. It's so bad. Look at the rain. Oh my god. Get out of there. Oh my goodness, this is getting soaked. I can't even check. Holy shit. My back, I just got soaked in an instant. That is some rolling thunder. Holy crap, it's like still just going further that way. Well, the car's on, it's running. I might end this episode here. Car is still running. Coolant temp's 97, so we're good. No check engine lights. -14.8, so it's still pretty high, but it's better than the 17.2 that it was running at. It's not smoking. I'm gonna rev it a little bit. Good throttle response. Not smoking. Still, you know, a little bit of fuel, but yeah, it goes back to rev normal. All right, I think I'm gonna call it there. I know last time I called it, the episode, on the next episode, everything went to shit. So next episode, we probably will have the wheels and tires on the car. Wheels will be on the ground, and I'm gonna go take it out for a drive to test everything else on it, and just kind of let the car run and drive and all that kind of stuff to regulate the ECU after all the changes. I'm talking here. Ooh, there's a plane in the sky. I would be sketched out in that plane right now because it's fucking bad. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me on this one. If you guys like to hit the like button down below if you want to see more and see the car to see if it makes it out of this driveway without exploding, hit the subscribe button down below. And yeah, you guys have a wonderful and beautiful day. DSEC208's out.